Hello students, how are you all? In this video, we'll be discussing questions which are asked in the previous IPMAT interviews and which are related to the stream of accounts, economics and business studies. So let's get started. Okay, so questions related to accountancy are asked. Okay, what is contract law? Okay, what do you mean by an agreement? What is working capital? So questions related to balance sheet, income statement. Okay, comparative and common size statement. Now this question is related to comparative analysis of the financial statements. Accounting ratios question: how does ratio help in analyzing this? There are different accounting ratios. We need to know the formula of each and every ratio. And how does the ratio help in analyzing the balance sheet? You should know all of it. What is debt equity ratio? If it is 5, then would you invest? So you should know the formula of the debt to equity ratio and its value. If what are the implications if its value is high, and what are the implications if its value is low. Okay, what are the, in the Companies Act, what is a company and what are its characteristics? What are the golden rules of accounting? What is financial leverage? Okay, principle of Henry Fayol. Difference between accounting cost and opportunity cost. Yeah, compensating errors. Okay, why accrual and not cash based concept should be used? Why double entry bookkeeping and not single entry bookkeeping method? What is price equilibrium, relationship between price equilibrium and market equilibrium? What is hyperinflation? This question is actually does not belong to accounts. This question belongs to economics. Okay, conservatism principle. What are the two sides of? Why are the two sides of a balance sheet equal? So you equate whenever you make a balance sheet, you match the two sides, assets equal to liabilities plus equity. So why they are equal? Okay, questions related to TDS, tax deducted at source. Okay, why accrual and not cash based concept should be used? Okay, what is cash flow statement? Purchase of shares, where will be it shown the cash flow statement, and what are the activities shown in a cash flow statement? Okay, what is a trial balance? Where is depreciation placed in the cash flow statement? Can a trial balance be used to judge the accuracy of accounts? Which statement shows the financial position of business and what does it contain? What are the cash flow statements and profit and loss statement? What are they used for? Difference between cost sheet and balance sheet. Difference between balance sheet and profit and loss statement. What is current ratio and quick ratio current assets? What is paid up capital? Difference in common stock and preference stock. Difference between accounting and bookkeeping. How to calculate the net profit? What is depreciation methods to calculate it? What kind of assets bill receivable is? Is it current asset? Is it long term asset? What kind of asset it is? What comprise of liability side of a balance sheet? Okay, so these were the questions which are there from accounts. It's mostly class 11-12 accounts questions which are mostly asked. Now coming on to economics and business studies, the questions which are asked in the IPM interviews are of class 11th and 12th level only. If you revise your books of your class 11th and 12th level, you will be able to answer most of the questions really well. Okay, what is oligopoly? What is monopoly? Okay, what are the scientific principles of management? How many are there? Name them. What are the qualities a business leader should have? Okay, what are NPAs, non-performing assets? What are the assets and liabilities for a bank? What is a business? Why is business separate entity from its owner? What is the difference between a businessman and an industrialist? Okay, so these are questions which are GK based questions also, and they are might have studied in your business studies chapter also. Okay, next is about indifference curve. Can two IC curves be intersect each other? So indifference curve you have studied in your economics, your microeconomics. Okay, and can two IC curves intersect each other? This you might have studied. Okay, what is fiscal deficit and fiscal surplus, and which country is having surplus? Okay, difference between the management and administration. Okay, now what is strategic planning? It is performed by whom? Okay, what is the importance of community work in developing professional skills? 3 methods of GDP calculation. So you should have studied the chapter of GDP in detail, and you should know what are the methods of GDP calculation. Okay, again here in business studies there is a chapter called planning. You should have studied that in detail. Banking system, basic terminology. Who is a banking regulator? You should know. Okay, what does higher indifference curve mean? So it means higher satisfaction. What are Ratan Tata and Mukesh Ambani? They are businessmen or they are industrialists? So you should know the difference between a businessman and an industrialist. Okay, is locker an asset or liability? So you should know bank locker is an asset or a liability. What is WTO? How is India affected by WTO? What is the GDP growth rate of India? Okay, five GDPs of the world, difference between balance of payment and balance of trade. Okay, any five multinational companies, given goods and name of some given goods. Okay, difference between scientific principle of management and principles of modern management. Okay, full form of IPO. Okay, difference between public listed and private listed companies. So you should know types of goods you might have studied in your microeconomics class 11th. Okay, given goods, what are given goods and name of some given goods. Okay, components of cash flow statement, elasticity of demand with graph. Okay, demand chapter you have studied in class 11th. Okay, exception to law of demand, difference between margin and total utility. Okay, explain staffing. What is staffing? You have studied in your class 12 business studies. Okay, if a bank offers 0% interest rate, what does it mean? You need to explain. What is economic cost and opportunity cost? Difference between a customer, client and a consumer you might have studied in detail. Okay, what is an MOU? Who is the father of scientific management? You might have studied. Okay, who is the father of general management and how many principles of general management are there? You might have studied. What are the types of market structure? Okay, difference between monopoly and oligopoly, use of derivatives and microeconomics, difference between micro and macroeconomics. Okay, how to measure inflation in India, what is slope of the demand curve, explain. Okay, slope of the demand curve. What is horizontal axis value of the break even point? So this is a break even point in chapter of aggregate demand, and what is its horizontal value. Can a company pay its debt using IPO? So you should know this basic facts. Difference between primary market and secondary market. What is GDP and how is it different from GNP? Okay, draw the price elasticity graph. What is cardinal approach? What are the 4 P's of marketing? The 7 P's of service. What is monopolistic competition? Definition of monopolistic competition. What is Cobb-Douglas production function? What is the example of consumer surplus? What is Baumal's profit maximization? What is supply chain management? Okay, what is inventory management? What are private banks and what are the functions of the RBI? Explain mutual funds, stock markets in India. How to calculate GDP at market price. If you want the PDF of this book, the PDF is given in the comment section in the description box. You can download this PDF, and all these questions are actual previous year questions which were asked in the IPMAT interviews. So just go through these questions and also go through the 11th and 12th textbooks because these questions can get repeated. Also some new questions can be asked from your class 11th and 12th textbook. Okay, 4 P's of marketing, and apply the 4 P's of marketing for Cadbury. What is repo rate? The father of macroeconomics, and how did his theory help to come out of depression? Okay. What is concept of welfare state? Is USA a welfare state? Okay, difference between recession and depression. What are the pros and cons of high inflation? Okay, why every year inflation should increase? Laws of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, what is total utility and marginal utility curve? Explain laws of diminishing marginal utility with examples. What are the factors affecting the foreign exchange rate? Okay, what is monetary and fiscal policy? What is repo rate, reverse repo rate, and which one is higher in India? So again, questions related to banking, monetary policy, questions related to foreign exchange, which you have studied in your class 12. Those questions are only asked. Okay, exception to law of demand with example. Law of demand, pros and cons, types of budget expenditure. What is economics of scale? Okay, difference between total and marginal product. Father of economics. Okay, father of economics, why GST was introduced. So some basic questions regarding why GST was introduced. The government source of income. Is GST part of the GDP? Laws of demand and perfect competition. Okay, marginal utility with example and graph. Okay, what is a government listed company? What are treasury bills? Difference between assets and bonds. Explain inflation with pros and cons. Demand price curve. Okay, so questions related to law of demand, laws of supply, and inflation. Okay, and all these questions are important, and questions related to financial markets, treasury, what are treasury bills, what are government securities, you should know. Maslow's hierarchy of needs and exception. Okay, what effect does CRR have on credit creation, you should know. Okay, so these were the questions which are asked in the from the commerce stream, from the economics and business studies. Okay, so we are conducting free mock interviews for IPMAT exam, for IPMAT interview preparation. If you want to join the free mock interviews, you can register on the link which is given below. Okay, and you can register, and the interviews will be taken by IIM selected faculties. Okay, if you liked my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.